A new limited time event named Primetime has landed in the Outlast Trails. In the event, Sergeant Coyle and Mother Gooseberry are center stage, featuring new prime asset abilities. A hit from Gooseberry's Futterman drill will now cause bleeding that can be stopped by bandages, a new item to be found in the trials. Being shocked by Coyle's baton will now disable your rig temporarily. As well as this, we get a few new evidence files. There is an evidence file from Dr. Easterman that talks about the new collaboration. The board has approved funding for Project Primetime, in which multiple prime assets will be simultaneously released into the same trial. All staff will follow strict protocols for chemical and physical restraint of prime assets in transportation before and after each trial. Cleanup staff have been doubled for the duration of the program in anticipation of increased biohazard and human offal in environments. Expect violent paradoxical ideation in reagents, subject to multiple charismatic forces. Additional halothane will be made available for reagents needing rest, as lingering psychosis and parasomnia are anticipated. Another file titled Family Archetypes refers to the collab. Easterman, cry me a fucking river. Anybody here who doesn't understand our mission is too dangerous to be here. And my point stands, the tool post of our lathe is charisma. We have to focus on prime assets. Avellanos, you know we're bringing another one into the experiment. Easterman, yes, something we must do with the utmost care. The reagent population needs to be prepared. Archetypes are architecture. In Gooseberry we have a mother. In Coyle we have a father. Once inside of the new trials, we have a secondary objective to break primetime televisions throughout the area. What I want to know is who is the mysterious figure on the screen during the latest Outlast Trials update. I saw some people theorize that it may be Prescott Whitehorn, but it's not him. Prescott is said to be a similar height to the Grunt, and we see this figure is not that tall. He's presumably a lot shorter than his image depicts, given the angle. He could potentially be a little person, like Laird Byron in Outlast 2. In the first document we get from the Primetime update, they talk about the Cuban fiasco, where people were murdered and many of the hits were done by someone called the Opportunist. Easterman, they can't pin the fiasco on Lathe. Avellanos, we can pivot. Easterman, they got what they ordered, more than they ordered. The agency wanted targets eliminated, and then get all nitpicky. Avellanos, Hendrik, slow down. Easterman, maybe the wrong people got killed, but in sheer volume, you can't argue we didn't deliver. Avellanos, we're not solely beholden to agency funding. The board can unlock other accounts if we offer other opportunities, especially if those opportunities involve opiates. Easterman, opiates? I don't believe there are any poppy fields in Cuba. Avellanos, but there are casinos in Cuba. American organized crime. Our contacts in Havana have reported that a mafia element may have been a participant in the activities. Our reagent was only allegedly responsible for one of the murders. Easterman, one? Avellanos, the other 7 men may have been done by this opportunist. It's hard to tell due to the lighting, but if we look at the picture of the man, he seems to have a very large head. He looks similar to comic book characters. Being a gangster, he especially reminds me of Spider-Man villain Hammerhead. His hair seems to be thinning. Perhaps the hair loss is due to experiments similar to Gooseberry. He also has mangled flesh to the right of his head, and a possible scar to the right of his face, although that could just be blood. This is some sort of mugshot after all. His hair is fashioned into horns, which makes him look demonic, although they're probably meant to resemble ears, as his name is Wolf. They look similar to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. They talk about Wolf in evidence file Lupa. Easterman. What the hell does that mean? An opportunist. Alvolanos. Just that. He would have been in Cuba on casino business. We believe he's connected to organized crime out of Louisiana. Easterman. And you believe this gangster saw our reagent eliminating a target and what? Decided why not get in on the action? Alvolanos. There's a certain unavoidable chaos in violent situations. We are sending Clyde Perry down to investigate. Easterman. Does this gangster have a name? Alvolanos. Undoubtedly. Our sources are Spanish speakers, and one of them lost a piece of his jaw in the incident. But they call him Lupa, or Lupa. Easterman. Lupa, that's Spanish for magnifying glass. Alvolanos. Or Italian for wolf. It's interesting that this prime asset saw what Project Lave were up to and decided to join in of his own accord. He must be a formidable foe, having brutalized someone to the point of having their jaw reconstructed. It's also interesting to see what happens to the prime asset who wakes up in Cuba in one of the endings. Spider, I, lamb. That's all I have on Lupa for now. I am looking forward to more prime assets to be released and the trials that they come with. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.